You will recall that on the 29th of June, in this hall, you inaugurated a 15-man committee to help screen all political aspirants to join you to actualize your mega agenda in Edo State by bringing them on board after thorough screening. Mr. Governor, sir, on that day, you will also recall that you emphasize, and I quote, "We have passed the stage where people just come into the government for the sake of it. Nominees are coming for a purpose and must be equipped to deliver on that purpose. We have gone round the state and asked wards and local governments to submit nominations. We have collected names and received petitions from some people expressing how happy or unhappy they were. We have received all these and are passing them on to you, this body, this screening committee." You also added that when the committee makes its recommendations, we then select those that we need to select. We are running a very transparent selection process. We have a lot of trust and confidence that you will do a great job for us. We believe that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you will come with what we can work with. End of quote. So, sir, we are here today precisely about 3 weeks after this inauguration to present our report. First, we took off immediately after the inauguration and decided as a committee to take a critical look at all the petitions that were before us. Looked at them, examined them, sought for merits and demerits of these petitions, and we made a conclusion. Those that lacked merit, we did not bother to invite them, and those that had merit, we decided to add them to the number of nominees that we needed to screen. The Governor, sir, flowing from your inaugural speech that day, we drew our terms of reference and set out to diligently carry out this assignment. We then deliberated, documented all our findings in tables, and decided to conclude and make some recommendations. Please permit me, sir, to read the concluding part of our report on the recommendations. The desire of His Excellency, Governor Obaseki, to redefine governance in Edo State is this raising the bar for this screening exercise, which has taken all the last 3 weeks. After intellectual and witty engagements of all the applicants, we have been able to rank all of them according to their levels of performance. The committee screened and interviewed 129 commissioner nominees, examined and evaluated the credentials and documents from 113 SSAs and 576 SS nominees. The outcome and recommendations are contained in the appropriate tables. It is important to note that the committee decided to highlight in red the names of overage SA applicants. And then, of course, I forgot to mention, we also found some LGAs and wards nominating full-time students. Rather than people looking for jobs, they nominated full-time students as part of their nominees. We have also highlighted these names in red. It is pertinent to observe that His Excellency assembled for this exercise a unique mix of technocrats and seasoned politicians from the so-called old and new party loyalists, perhaps with the view of helping to harmonize submissions from the various LGAs who themselves were unable to fully integrate as desired by Mr. Governor. The committee did its best to work harmoniously as a team. However, given the above background of members, we may not have completely avoided a few elements of bias and partisanship in carrying out this screening exercise. Your Excellency is hereby assured that such limitations were extremely minimal. The committee notes with delight the uniqueness of adopting this very uncommon but commendable approach by Your Excellency. We sincerely hope that this report and recommendations contained in it will enable His Excellency to pick qualified, sincere, and dedicated individuals for the various appointments to join hands with him in making Edo great again. We also wish to use this opportunity to thank the Deputy Governor, the Secretary to Government, the Chief of Staff, and other staff of Government House for their assistance and cooperation during this assignment.
I was belying if I say I am surprised. Listening to the presentation of the chairman on this committee to screen the list of nominees, I say I'm not surprised at all. The recommendations, the diligence that went into this report and this exercise, because given the quality of the team we put together and the chairman, anything less than this would have been the shock to me. So I want to thank you most sincerely for the work that you put in over the last 3 weeks. So I want to thank you for the sacrifice, for the commitment, but more importantly for the rigor and see the detail you went into. The whole purpose of the exercise too, these political appointees, are they real politicians? When we say politicians, do they have the interest of their people at heart? Are they participating in their communities today? Are they really in support of our administration? I'm sure you checked when you screened and you have come up with these recommendations. And so the last phase, I'm happy some of you are in the transition committee, where we need to match, some of these people to certain, assignments. We also need to have a system in place to evaluate. So you're a political appointee, you are supposed to deliver on certain things. What are those things? They have to be very, very clear. So we will have to get a subcommittee of these things over the next 2 weeks to work with the transition committee so that we can align the appointees. So SAs, for instance, how do we evaluate them? What are they supposed to deliver on in their communities? Do you get it? And if they don't perform, what happens? Because the future domination of the politics is going to be based on the roles and the performance of these people at the grassroots. And a case in point is just the current registration of voters and also party members. Let us see. Are they even on ground? So that if they're not on ground, and we're saying, look, we want to provide water. This is our water plan. How would you even know what to do to go to your ward to find out the water assets that are there and how to now move by the message so that the ministry and the agencies responsible now go and ensure that they give water to the people? We're not saying you be the engineer, but we went round, if you recall, we went around all the 192 wards and people told us what they needed. We have a long list. We are in Benin, but we have to have people there on a daily basis that will tell us, oh, this is going on, this is the problem we have in this school, these are the challenges we have, so that the ministry and people in charge can be held responsible to go and do what they need to do. Within 1-2 weeks, you'll help us, you'll be in the transition committee, and this month, that alignment must now be reached so that we can go ahead. Because once we do that, I don't see how anybody can remove PDP from power in this state for a long, long time, if it will ever happen. So I want to end by thanking you most sincerely. This is not going to be the last responsibility. What we're trying to do is to ensure that we carry everybody along in our party. Whether we like it or not, we must harmonize. It's one party. It has to be one party. And the party registration exercise will reveal it. It has to be one party. You cannot be an opposition in your party. It's not possible. So those communities, those wards, those local governments where you have this, we are going to go there in the next 1-2 weeks. I'm going to be the leaders personally. And we sit down with the candidates and let us resolve the issues. So don't worry, we'll go through the reports this weekend very exhaustively and we'll come up with our own plan of action to go around, and everybody we are going to employ, I will see them. They don't have to come to Benin, we'll go and meet them. I'm coming to Ubiaja, all the boys are there, put them, let me see them. Right? Before we, okay, it is you. But the other thing you have done for us is we now have a database of what people we believe are politically active and want to serve at the base. We'll continue to add to this list so that when duties come, we need people to work, we can reach out to them. So I want to thank you for that. That we're taking this database and putting it in. Yes, and we will continue to, add to that. This is just reference base. Not everybody will get an appointment now, but we believe that the kind of growth, expansion we're seeing in terms of our policy will need a lot more people to come and work and assist us. So on that note, I want to thank you and to say we really do appreciate. Like I said, I'm not surprised. I know all of you. I've worked with all of you, and I know the quality you are made of. So I want to thank you very, very much, and rest assured we'll deal with this report expeditiously.